Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Guard Your Heart Show, a podcast inspired by Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Thank you for spending this next 7 minutes with me. And I'm so excited to have you join me as we continue learning and relearning with Christ. For those who are new here, my name is Mercy, and I'm a young woman on a journey to grow deeper in my relationship with God by studying His Word and sharing what I learned along the way. If you have been here before, welcome back. It's always a blessing to connect with you. I am thrilled to introduce a brand new segment called 7 Minutes of Heaven. This space is where we will just take 7 minutes to dive into the Bible, exploring its stories and lessons instructed by God from Genesis to Revelation. Whether you're commuting, taking a break, or winding down for the evening, these quick and meaningful moments will uplift your spirit and help you grow in faith. We will be using a simplified Bible study method I am calling the story approach to just break it down, and here's how it works. We will set the scene. We will start by understanding the context, who is involved, what happens, and why it is important. Next, we will pull out the key takeaways or the central message of the story. We will observe the impact. We will look into how this story affects those who are involved and what it reveals about God's character. This is where we connect the story to our personal experiences and challenges. Finally, we will reflect on how we can apply the lesson to grow closer to God and live out His truth. Today, we begin the transformative journey into the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible. These are Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. These are often referred to the law or the books of Moses because they contain the laws given to Moses, but they are also so much more than that. They blend history, law, and theology to reveal God's plans for humanity, a plan that began with creation and continues through the covenant with Israel. The Pentateuch is a seamless narrative that tells the story of God's relationship with His people, and it sets the stage for the rest of the Bible and points us towards Jesus Christ. Let's break it down further by looking at the 3 key themes of the Pentateuch. The first key theme is God's covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This covenant is central to the Pentateuch. In it, God promises to make their descendants into a great nation, blessing them and blessing all the nations through them. This promise is the foundation of the Bible story of redemption. In Genesis chapter 12, God tells Abraham, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." This covenant isn't just about Abraham's family. It's about God's ultimate plan to bless the whole world through Jesus Christ, a descendant of Abraham. The second theme is God's deliverance. The book of Exodus tells us the dramatic story of Israel's deliverance from slavery in Egypt. Through Moses, God demonstrates His faithfulness and power, bringing His people out of bondages and leading them towards the promised land. But this deliverance isn't just a story of freedom from slavery. It's a picture of God's power to deliver us from the bondage of sin. The third theme is God's law and worship. At Mount Sinai, God establishes a covenant with the Israelites. He gives them the laws and instructions for worship. Why? To set them apart as a holy nation devoted to Him. The laws in the Pentateuch show us God's character, His justice, His mercy, and His desire for His people to live in a relationship with Him. And these 3 themes, God's covenant, His deliverance, and His law, are woven throughout the Pentateuch. But what's incredible is how these themes connect with the rest of the Bible and point us to Jesus Christ. Let's talk about the unity of the Pentateuch. Even though it is made up to 5 books, the Pentateuch is one continuous story. Each book has its own focus, but they're all connected. Genesis will introduce us to creation, humanity's fall into sin, and God's covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph. Exodus recounts Israel's deliverance from Egypt and their covenant relationship with God. Leviticus serves as a manual for worship and holiness, teaching Israelites how to live in God's presence. Numbers tell the story of Israel's wilderness, offering lessons about faith and obedience. And finally, Deuteronomy is Moses' final address, where he summarizes the covenant and prepares Israel to enter into the promised land. Together, this book form a seamless narrative that takes us from creation to the brink of the promised land. Traditionally, it is believed that Moses wrote these books. After all, the Bible frequently refers to them as the law of Moses. Even Jesus said, Moses wrote about me in John chapter 5 verse 46. However, Pentateuch isn't just about ancient history or laws. It's about God's relationship with humanity. It shows us who God is, how he works, and what it means to live in a covenant with him in our own wilderness season. As we wrap up today, I hope you are inspired to dive into the Pentateuch with fresh eyes. These 5 books lay the foundation for the entire Bible, pointing us to God's plan for redemption through Jesus Christ. In the next episode, we will start with stories from Genesis, what we learn, and how we can live God's truth. If you have been inspired by today's episodes, make sure to subscribe to the Guard Your Heart Show and share it with friends who seek a deeper relationship with God. Together, we'll continue to explore His Word from Genesis to Revelation, discovering how these ancient truths transform our lives today. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep your hearts guarded and your faith strong.